You're listening to the YNOT and Shyway Show, an esports arena podcast.
Yo, what's up, guys? Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casted, one of the HS commentators, and today is the Why Not and What the hell are you doing here, Jay? What are you doing?
Weasel my way onto a lot of these, you know. So here I am, not quite Shyway tonight.
I guess I got throw the format, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's the Why Not and KingJay show today. I have no idea what he did with Shyway. I'm not even going to ask. I don't want to be an accessory. But today we have a phenomenal show for you guys. We're going to be talking the Halo Infinite roadmap, Snipedown beefing with FaZe, FaZe's performance with King Nick over Snipedown, Snipedown potentially scrimming with United, and SSG officially signing the #1 Latin American team in PK. And before we get there, you know what? I'm sorry, Jay. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people at home? Let them know who you are.
Yeah, name's KingJay. I'm sure a lot of you around the Halo scene probably know me. Halo player for Native, partner Twitch streamer, and self-proclaimed funniest person in the scene. So
I love how you just had to throw in the partnered part and whatnot. Just little back in the van.
I had to put it on you.
Shyway shaved. I'm like that in the chat right now.
Shyway looks a little different.
Professional player, and let me tell you, Native have been on the up and up. We're not gonna talk about the org stuff because I don't know how much you could divulge, but as far as just talking about how you guys have been as a unit, it's been the real deal. You guys qualified for Orlando, you know, that's gonna be awesome. You guys have been putting in the work. I'm sure you've been scrimming, except for Sundays, that's for football. But other than that, you've been putting in the work. How are you feeling about Native going into Orlando?
I don't know. I think the way we're playing right now, I'm actually pretty happy with how we're playing right now. We made that roster change a month ago and got Aperture over Kratos, and I don't know, we've been playing pretty good recently, like keeping up with some of the top teams. We still have things to work on, as always. We're not perfect. We have mistakes, and we need to lock in the teamwork just a little bit more than we are, but I think we'll be ready come Orlando.
Built by Gamers end up leaving the scene, and y'all just change homes. I mean, it's just 3/4 of what was a Built by Gamers roster at one point. And then Piggy, who I've been huge on him since back in Halo 5. I got to play some matchmaking with. The dude is an absolute demon. I love you and him together. You guys are both aggressive. You guys both win your individual 1v1s, and you put a lot of pressure on the enemy. Watch out for Native Gaming going forward. But to start things off, we're going to talk about the Halo Infinite roadmap. We're going to talk about a few things. That was a 40-minute video, and I know you loved every single minute of it. And for real though, actually, that Sean dude was actually, he swagged out. He was cool. And first up, why don't we talk about these new maps here? This first one is an arena-style map, double grapple and double sniper. We're seeing it on screen. How did you feel about this map? Be honest. Be honest.
About time we get a double sniper map that's not named Behemoth. Am I right? Like, come on. Like, it's a staple in every competitive Halo. Like, every competitive Halo needs a double sniper map. It's the best. Everyone loves it. And we've been asking for it since day one, so I'm glad we're finally getting it whenever it decides to show up.
I remember back in the day, we used to watch like those Sanctuary battles and whatnot. We'd see Snipedown going up against World 2 or something. And those were huge. Like, we're talking swing game plays, and they were always so crucial, critical to the esport. And to not have them, like I said, outside of Behemoth, I'm not sure how much we're really counting that. So I'm excited to see how this is going to play. It looks interesting. Like, on the surface, I'm like, yo, this map is so small, and then it gets longer and longer, and I'm like, what are we looking at here? It's a good looking map though.
I like it. I think, are they finished with it? Because the textures look kind of like plain to me. I don't know.
It's
maybe
Forge. It
is
was
a Forge
made
map.
in Forge, which by the way though, like, I mean, I remember back like when I started messing around with Forge and like reaching when everything was like gray blocks. Like, obviously this doesn't look as colorful as like say like a Catalyst or something, but this is far from those gray blocks that we saw in the past.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm excited for Forge. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna Forge looks so good this year. It's unbelievable.
And I got to talk to you back in the day. You kind of got your start in Halo 3 where you were playing little Fat Kid, little Sumo and whatnot. You were playing a bunch of those custom games, and with Forge, that's going to bring it back. I mean, there's a large part of the community that they don't play matchmaking. They don't play free for all and whatnot. They play those fun games. They play Mongoose Sumo, Warthog Rocket Race, jump maps and whatnot, especially nowadays. And they've been waiting. They don't have a game to play because that's what Halo means to them for real.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, and I know they showed on the roadmap we're getting the custom game browser, which is like that was my main worry with Forge coming out. I knew Forge is going to be good, but like if you pair that with a custom game browser, oh dude, that's so much fun. Like I can just imagine like you too, like anyone who streams like community games with all like the fun like dude, it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
I'm waiting for someone to make a lights out battle royale. We'll start saving that. The second map that we're seeing right now might be one of the battle royale maps because it's pretty big. It's a big team battle map. It has this whole separate island. I've been calling it the Island of Power, where it has the rockets, it has the flag, it has all these different power weapons. It's like kind of separated from the map with the lift. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't really play big team battle like that, but I'm not gonna lie, it's an interesting map, and if it does end up in like a last part standing or battle royale type of game mode, I might have to get familiar with it. How did you feel about the look of this map?
I mean, like you said, I don't really play big team battle, but any content's good content at this point, right? So I will take whatever we can get. I mean, it looks pretty cool for a BTB map. Like hopefully the big time BTB players like it. But I was pretty indifferent on it. So
there was a screenshot of the 4 pillars that were in this video. I don't know if we were able to grab that for the screen. It was it was like 4 different metrics that they wanted to improve on in order to send us into season 3. I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait on Connie to let me know if we have the screenshot of that. But if we do, I would love to talk about it. Sean, the guy that was mainly talking to the video, he didn't hide from it. He held himself accountable. He was real. Like he talked about like how they're not where they want to be. They accept. There we go. They accept the fact that there is issues with the game, and he didn't hide from it. He held himself accountable, which I thought was good. Transparency is good. I want to see videos like this once a month. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, good, bad, left or right, I want to see videos like this once a month. But it started with the infinitely rewarding. So we talked about progression in the video, just normal career progression. It's been in Halo for quite some time. Like, I don't know if you were reaching Inheritor now. You were probably whack. You're a little noob. You ain't get no Inheritor and reach. You weren't no 5-star general. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Hold on. I was a 5-star in Halo 3, and what was the rank and reach? I wasn't the highest. I think I was the one below the highest.
Oh, what was below in here? Damn it. I'm going to have to look. Anybody in the
Arbiter?
chat, if you remember what was it?
Remember.
Nah, it wasn't Arbiter. I'm like remembering the little symbols and whatnot.
I can see the little like black hexagon with the, I can't remember the name of it though. But I was a 5-star in H3, so.
We are going to be seeing some career progression, like we know with some normal progression on a game to game basis. Also talked about having a personal and welcoming experience, and really kind of went into in-game reporting. Which I'm gonna be honest with you, if you want to report somebody nowadays, you have to write a 5-paragraph essay, cite 9 different sources. It's honestly a bit of a pain, and I think there's a place for that for certain levels. But if you just catch somebody cheating, and you know for a fact there's a man dropping 49-1 on every SWAT game, let's be serious. There needs to be an in-game reporting system, so I'm happy that that's coming in. They talked about Halo always being, a social experience, but also being competitive and fair. You always had a situation where everybody starts off on the same playing ground. It's important for Halo's infrastructure, and they're keeping that as on the forefront of things. And then obviously stability and high quality, really honing in on desync, which again, like I said in the video, you could say what you want about the timeline. You could say what you want about 343. At the end of the day, I'm at least happy that Sean came out there and said, look, we're not hiding. We're being transparent. We know we have issues, and really kind of went out and said, this is what we're looking at. I'm actually happy with it. How do you feel about these 4 pillars that they were talking about?
I'm going to be honest. The last one there is the most important one in my eyes. Maybe the competitive and fair, but the stable and high quality of the game is not. They're not even close to that right now. Like the desync, the server issues. You could go on and on. I think that's probably my biggest issue, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with Infinite right now. Because like I've never in my life, and I've been playing games my whole life, played a game where every single game I load into feels different. Like no two games feel the same ever. Whether it's server whatever it is, like they need to figure that out. So like I'm glad they at least acknowledged it, but like acknowledging it is a very, very small part of the battle. They need to actually like follow through and fix these things. The competitive and fair thing, like you said, I don't bother reporting anyone anymore because it is so hard to report somebody in Infinite. Like even if I know for a fact someone's cheating, like it's impossible to, like, it's so hard to report people, so I don't even bother doing it. So like, yeah, I agree with what you said on that, but yeah, I think those last two are really important in my eyes.
Yeah, really happy to see things go in the right direction, and what we mainly want to talk about is the timeline, because I think that's where people really had an issue with it. So why don't we swing on board with the timeline as you see on screen? Esports Read always real quick with the November, looks like 8th through March 7th. We should see a Forge beta, a 30-tier battle pass. By the way, free. Because, you know, free 99, my favorite flavor. You already know. It just tastes better when it's free. I don't know why I'm tasting a battle pass. I don't know where I'm going with this. Campaign network co-op mission replay. Okay, for my co-op kids out there. And then new maps, Detachment and Argyle, which are the two that we kind of showed on screen earlier. I'm gonna let you take the floor again. Yeah. What do we feel about this timeline for the left side of the graphic?
Delays and more delays. We were supposed to get the Forge beta in September, and we're clearly not getting that now. Co-op campaign, like we were supposed to get that forever ago. We're clearly not. We have to wait even longer for that. So, like, I mean, the new maps are cool. Like, I'm cool with that. The 30-tier battle pass is cool. I see like the match XP beta on the bottom. I know a lot of people can complain about that, but it's like this, I don't know. A lot of people were mad about this roadmap because it was pretty much them just announcing that everything's delayed even longer than we've already been waiting. So it's like, why? Like, I mean, cool. Thanks for being transparent, but like, it's just not, like, every time they come out with something, I feel like it's just a step backwards, and like that's just not how it's supposed to be. I mean, hopefully when we get these things, they're good and they work, and that'll be good. Like, I genuinely believe the game will be like a really good game in like 2 years, but we just have to actually get there is the problem. So, I mean, we'll see, I guess. But
well, to kind of shed a little bit of a shining light on it, I mean, obviously it's coming out November through March, and hopefully I'm hoping towards the early side, more towards November than March. Yeah. But what I'm honing in on is Forge beta, because they're calling it a beta, but I just have a strange feeling that it's Forge. It's going to be good enough to create an amazing amount of content, an inconceivable amount of content, even if it's beta form. Will it be perfect? Absolutely not. But I think it's going to be damn close to the final product. And the one thing that I'm excited for is that Halo has always had a way of breeding talented community members, man.
Oh,
from
dude,
the best casters in the world to some of the best players that are able to move on to different games, from the creative forgers, and it's just hey, people are passionate and love Halo, and those forgers are the real deal. So you give them a taste of that beta. We've already seen what they've been able to do. Like, I saw like a whole Toy Story room. Like, I heard that you can't even save your progress. Dude made a whole Toy Story room in one day. Can't even save it, and now gonna have to start all over when the Forge beta comes out. Like that, we have some talented people in our community, and the battle pass is cool and whatnot. Like I said, the new maps, like, we'll see how Argyle plays. I won't be too much on detachment unless they bring LSS back in some kind of 2s format or something, or 3s format, which I think would be really cool. But we'll see how Argyle's like, because we want a double snipe map. Going to the right side of the graphic, which, you know, you got the Shroud screen coming in. I think that's interesting. Bandit rifle, you know, kind of a DMR without the scope, so kind of like a close range DMR, almost like a Halo 5 Magnum / DMR mix. We have a new arena map coming, another big team battle map, and then 100-tier battle pass, which we're gonna have to assume you'll have to pay for that. Again, that's March 7th through June 27th. So I'm sure you have a lot to talk about that as well. Yeah,
I mean, dude, it's tough to be positive, but like, how long are we waiting till season 3? Like, that means season 2 is going to be like what, almost 10 months, right? Like it's literally almost like a year long, but like,
and they want to get it towards quarterly. They even said they want to get towards quarterly, and right now,
right now it's yearly. Like that's not good. But I mean, new maps, arena, big team battle. Obviously, new maps is always good. Like as long as the maps are good, like that's healthy for the scene. The DMR is interesting. I don't think it's gonna replace the BR. I think it's more so gonna replace like the commando, like a wall weapon, because I've seen videos of it. And it doesn't look that good right now. Which obviously that can change from now till March is a ton of time, so that can change. But I mean, new gun is cool. The Shroud Screed is interesting. I don't know if it's going to have a place in competitive or not, but I guess that's not really up for us to decide. It's up for HGS side of things if they want to throw it in, and then obviously like the usual 100-tier battle pass. I'm sure will be all good on that. But the most important thing about this right side, I'm going to be honest, is on the bottom. I don't know why they put this on the bottom, but it's the custom game browser. That is the most important thing. Like that should be the biggest picture up there because that changes everything. But you combine that with Forge and like, dude, boom, like that has the potential to bring a lot of players back. I don't know why they hit that on the bottom, but.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a situation where it's separated like that for a reason. Like, is it like priority versus not priority, or what's coming first versus what's coming later on? Like, I legitimately don't know. Like, maybe the top portion is coming first and the bottom portion is coming later on, like later on towards the end. I really don't know, but yeah, that custom game browser is important, and it's. Even back in Halo 3, like when I first started seeing what Forge was all about, like it doesn't mean anything if you can't share it. Exactly. Then when the custom game browser came out, like, dude, I was finding octagons I was playing days worth of octagons because of the custom browser. Like if I wanted to warm up, I would jump into a free for all. If I didn't have any friends online, what I do, custom game browser low key is a game changer. And like you said, it definitely should be on, up higher on the priority list because all these creations that people are going to make with the Forge beta doesn't mean anything for the community that doesn't have Reddit, that doesn't have Twitter. Like obviously me and you have, we're gonna find that super cool battle royale that people make. We're gonna find it, but what about those people that don't use social media like that? Which I'm talking about, like what the 90% of the casual community, that is the casual community that play the game, like. They're not going to go searching for the content like that. So the custom game browser being in game is really important, and I want to see more of that. And you talk about the Shroud Screen, like. I like the idea of the Shroud Screen. I don't know for competitive. I'm trying to think. If anything, maybe Catalyst needs it because there's so much open space on Catalyst. Maybe Catalyst, or at this point, I just think Catalyst needs to get out of the competitive.
I agree. Oh my gosh, that's another topic.
There's no one equipment that's going to save it. The only thing I like about Catalyst is that I spend half the game outside the map. I'm either under it with the grapple or around it, going to my opponent's base. Like the thing I love about Catalyst is the fact that I can get out of the damn map.
You can escape it for a couple seconds and then you're back on Catalyst. So, the Shroud Screen's interesting. I don't know, like, it's going to be interesting to see if they put it in competitive or not. I mean, if they do, like, I'm sure people are going to have some crazy plays with it, like literally like lineups, like we're playing Valorant or Counter-Strike, where you could like, I don't know, for example, like on Recharge, I could like smoke off like top red so I can cross a catwalk to like elevator or something. Like there's going to be crazy plays if it isn't competitive. So we'll see what they do with it.
I didn't even think about that. Definitely Recharge can probably use a bit of a Shroud Screen, but it's all about how it plays. So I think we talked enough about the Halo Infinite roadmap. What I want to talk about now is Snipedown beefing with FaZe, and I want to start off right off the rip. There's a video that's out there. I don't know if you guys seen it. It's only 34 seconds long. So why don't we put the video on? We're gonna have this sound. We're gonna listen to it, and we're gonna react to it because Snipedown had some strong words for his former teammates. So,
there's so much
you
more
have
to
that,
the
throw it on
mental
there.
side of competing than just like putting 4 people together that are like individually talented.
Yeah,
you got to be friends, and let me tell you right now, I was not with like we don't see alike at all. I'm not a negative person. I'm not a fucking hater, and I just didn't fit into that fucking group of people in game or in life. Worst experience on a team, care to elaborate? Weakest mentals I've ever seen in my life.
Lots to unpack there. Again, there's only there's only so much that I know about the competitive scene because I'm not a competitor myself. So I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about it after watching that video.
I mean, anyone that really knows competitive should know, like, dude, people, like, you throw 4 really good individually talented players on a team together. That doesn't mean anything. It's all about how well you get along, especially in this game. It's all how you play together as a team, chemistry, and how you get along. Obviously, being very individually like skilled matters, but it's not the end all be all, which we've seen with FaZe. Obviously, like, they struggled in the beginning, which you expect the team to struggle, but like they were like struggling like you really didn't expect them to. And it's pretty clear, like they didn't get along outside the game, so they're not going to get along inside the game, you know? And I mean, I have a little bit of insight on it because I am friends with 1 or 2 of the FaZe guys, so like I kind of know what was going on, and I'm not going to like I'm not, that's their business to tell, not mine. So I'm not going to like go that far. But like, yeah, like he said, like it doesn't matter how good everyone on the team is. If you don't get along and you don't play well together, you're not going to be good. And like, it's that simple. Like,
when you're an NBA player, NFL player, when something like this happens, you're told to stay away from social media. Like, don't hit that tweet button, keep it in the drafts for 24 hours. Go to sleep, wake up, look at it again, and see if you really want to put it out there. Stay away from the cameras for 24 hours. Because it's, at the end of the day, we're human. You know? Like, you guys are human. And when something like this happens, you got emotions, real emotions. And he was obviously upset about the situation. So being in front of a camera and I bet you any money, I didn't watch the stream, but I bet you any money he was asked about this probably 6 times. And the
probably
first 5
600
times, he probably dodged it. And like, you know, and look, I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm focused on this Apex tournament because they're about to play Apex tournament. I don't want to talk about this right now. Or maybe kind of that was a little bit like, hey, look, it just didn't work out. You know, we wanted to work this way, and then just the 8th time, maybe after a big loss or something, or whatever it is, and like it overflows, man. And emotions are high. And I bet you if he can go back in time and take that back, I think he would. I don't, because those were some strong words. I mean, he said he's not a hater. He said he's not, like it kind of sounded he was talking about 1 or 2 people in general. Then kind of it was really tough. I even got the chance to listen to APG talk about the situation, and he said from right off the bat, Snipedown wasn't supposed to be on this team. He wasn't. And he almost had to prove himself to teammates, and like to start off like your competitive journey like that, like I don't know if you worked a job where you didn't have job security, but I have, and like you're working and for no fault of your own, or it's not working. You're not hitting your metrics, not hitting your goals and whatnot, and you can feel the writing on the wall, and eventually at some point it's going to split. When you have that over your head, it's so hard for you to want to go into work every day. Like I'm waking up on Monday like, damn, I wish it was something. Like, I've been in that situation before, and I can almost imagine that it was probably like that going into every scrim, going into every tournament. Like they weren't clicking, and I think that's an issue.
Yeah, it's like I mean, as far as I know, Snipedown wasn't supposed to be on the team. He was like the plan B or plan C or whatever. So like having that in the back of your head is probably not fun. Like, wow, these guys didn't even want me at first. But so it's like you said, he's probably like playing to prove himself, and that's not good to sit on your mental either. And I just know, like, I know they butted heads a lot with how they wanted to play in game. I've heard it from someone on that team. Like, they want to play a certain way. Someone else, Snipedown, doesn't agree, and they kind of like butted heads on that. So like it just, I don't know, it just didn't sound like it was too good like behind the scenes. And and all 4 of those guys are obviously all really good Halo players, but like if you're not getting along, it's not ever gonna work out. So
yeah, and it sucks, but you know what? In certain situations, sometimes these things can work out best for both parties. Like, and I want to hone in on FaZe's performance without Snipedown, and ultimately going with King Nick so far, because we actually have results of their scrims and their scores. So I want to pull that up on screen when we get the chance, Connie, and want to talk about that. But so far, FaZe has been scrimming with King Nick, and they've been looking better. Like they've actually they're going up against Sentinels And they're going toe-to-toe with Sentinels. They're going toe-to-toe. Actually, we have it on screen right now. FaZe not only going toe-to-toe with Sentinels, by the way, I know it's your boys. But we're talking the Kansas City land champion, Sentinels, the dynasty. And FaZe able to 9-8 them when, to be honest with you, they were kind of getting slapped around before by the Elite Three. Let's not mince words here. Like they were getting put in the blender by the top three, and you add a different player, a different vibe, and they're able to click. They're able to find success. Jay, walk me through what you're seeing on the screen. We're going to talk about FaZe versus Sentinels.
Yeah, I mean, literally, sometimes all it takes is like replacing one player, and like the chemistry gets better. And I know, like for Sparty, like everyone knows Sparty, like sometimes is mentally in it, and sometimes he's Sparty, like he rides on emotions, and him and King Nick are like a duo. They've been friends forever. It's like Sparty
Jersey
getting
boys.
kicked. Yeah, and Sparty always wanted to play with Nick, and he didn't want to leave him on United, but that ended up falling apart. So like the fact he can get him on FaZe is huge for Sparty at the least. And if you have Sparty who's happy to get on and play with one of his friends, like that's only benefits the rest of the team. So like I'm sure their teamwork, their communication, their chemistry is probably way better. And that's not like a shot at Snipedown, but it's like they definitely get along better, and like you said, it shows in their scrim results. They're playing a lot better now. So
to talk a little bit about what you're referring to, so for those guys who don't know, obviously Spartan and King Nick did team together on E United, and what started the split was YNOT wanting to replace King Nick for Formal, which by the way was the best free agent on the market at the time, and the team kind of agreeing with it, but nobody alerting Sparty about it. And that kind of started off the whole issues with E United between Sparty versus Ryan, who obviously led to him benching himself, and eventually now him on FaZe, and which, by the way, I can't wait till we see FaZe versus E United at some point. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later, because why don't we throw? But we have another scrim results: FaZe versus Optic. I think this is what told me that things were really changing. So you have Optic Gaming, the #1 online team right now, and I'm not going to say they're only online. I'm going to say they haven't found success on LAN yet, because I'm not going to be disrespectful and call them an online only team. Like some of you heathens in the chat, I'm looking at you. You know who you are. But Optic able to take the win on the scrim, which by the way, scrim's not everything, but FaZe taking them all the way to 13, able to take 6 on them when literally a week before then, FaZe got 10-2'd. So that just right off the rip, it showed me that this things are different here. And this was literally a week after you get 10-2'd by this very team. And all you do is change one player, and you're able to get triple the wins at that point. Actually, we have it on screen right now. Thank you so much, Esports. We'd appreciate that. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna appreciate you putting that on the screen. I'm gonna tell Sparty on you. But yeah, it was a big difference, and FaZe even went up against Cloud9, which was a lot of emotions on there, where they were able to get the win on Esports Arena Open Night, which was on Monday too. Which again, Cloud9 back-to-back LAN champions. So this is huge. Like one player obviously making the difference here, and I think this is a situation where maybe it works on both phases. They didn't, maybe their play styles didn't mesh. Obviously, they weren't friends, and obviously they had a couple of choice words for each other. So this might be something that works out for both of the teams.
Yeah, no, I think it's a win-win. Like I think FaZe obviously got better, and Eric Snipedown obviously wasn't having the most fun on that team, to say the least. So I think, like you said, I think it's a win-win for both of them, for Snipedown and FaZe.
I want to, and since we're talking about Snipedown, why don't we hone in a little bit on him, because obviously, what goes up must come down. King Nick comes in and replaces him on FaZe. Now you're seeing Snipedown. Where is he going? It's not to Apex, guys. He tweeted out he's going to stay. Apparently, he's been running with E United. And I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but I'm going to set the groundwork. There's a tweet out there that, sorry, it's my tweet. What the hell? There's a tweet out where I did a little investigating, and I was watching the Optic scrim, and we see it's Rain, Suspector, Ryan Noob, and Faceless Peak 69. And I'm over here, I'm listening to the comms, and I'm wondering, I hear Trippy call him say Eric. I'm like, okay. All right, APG says Eric when they're calling out this face. I'm like, all right, so there's not many people named Eric in the scene that's at this level. So I put my investigators out. I'm like, that might actually be that might be Snipedown. And then there's a clip that's sent to me. Okay, we had the clip. It's only like 3 seconds long. Connie, if you're in there, play the clip for them real quick because they thought I was lying. Connie, they thought I was lying.
He's going our flag. Snipedown.
Rewind it one more time. One more, Connie. Give me that one more time.
I had him twice. He's going our flag. Snipedown.
I thought I was out here lying. He literally said his name. And by the way, APG also says that wasn't on accident. I'm just saying. I was watching the stream. Someone asked him about it. And they were like, did you know that y'all was saying his name? He's like, it wasn't on accident. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, they were just outing him like that. How do we feel about Snipedown on E United? Why don't we talk about this as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it was pretty foolish to think he would just up and leave after getting off of FaZe, especially because Worlds is a month and a half, 2 months away. Like, if you're gonna leave Halo, you might as well stick it out for Worlds and then go to Apex, right? So, like, I think it was pretty obvious he was gonna find himself on a team, and like United's a pretty good team to find yourself on. I mean, you got Commander Ryan Noob over there, commanding the troops. So that team's interesting. I don't know. I'm interested to see how they play. If Snipedown is on a United, because who knows? Nothing's confirmed.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
no. So we'll see. I haven't seen much of E United plus Faceless Peak. Like I haven't watched them scrim or seen their results, so I'm not really sure how they're gonna play. But I mean, it's a Ryan Noob team, so you can never count them out of anything, right?
They've been looking pretty good. They were able to go get some wins off of G1. I think someone told me they 12-4 to 13-4 G1, which I thought was big. I don't take that with a grain of salt because my memory's really bad. But either way, I remember Boo Boo Doo tweeting out he's a free agent and saying along the lines of he's missed the opportunity to be on the best team he's ever been on, and he said the players wanted him on the team. But it was an org situation. So I mean, I'm gonna pull out my white chalkboard. There's a bunch of tree branches here. Try to stay with me. I'm gonna go a little wild with this. Try to stay with me. So FaZe wants Snipedown. Snipedown loves FaZe. Right off the bat.
Yeah, you're talking about FaZe the org, not the
FaZe the org. Sorry, FaZe the org. There's been rumors, and it's probably the worst kept secret that FaZe wants to enter Apex. So, okay, so we're connecting a couple olive branches. The olive branches are here. Just stay with me, guys. So, if Snipedown was to go back to Apex after the season, after Worlds, because by the way, they're still on their off season right now. After Worlds, go back to Apex, he would be a damn good captain of the Apex squad. And it's pretty good to build around. You grab Abralelli, you grab Slurp G, and you got yourself a solid team that's going to contend in Pro League. So, if Boo Boo said there's org complications, then at that point one can only think that maybe FaZe wants Snipedown. He's a part of their future plans, and they don't want to sign him as just a content creator because now you're just paying him money to what is he doing there? So at that point, let's get some use out of him. Let's put him on this FaZe roster. They don't quite force him on there, but but I'm thinking that he's in their future plans, and if he wants to go to Apex after the season, he plays on the FaZe, and that's the reason why they wanted him as opposed to Boo Boo Doo. Again, a couple olive branches connecting right there. You don't have to comment that if you don't want to. I know you're in a difficult situation, but I'm just saying that's my. I'm gonna take off my full hat for a second. I'm gonna take it off, but that's just what I was thinking when it comes to the Snipedown and FaZe situation.
I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, and this is not me confirming or denying anything. I don't know. But as far as I know, Boo Boo was supposed to be on the original FaZe team. Well, not the original, this FaZe team.
Yep.
But like you said, Eric Snipedown is such a big name in esports and in multiple esports, and on Twitch, it's like FaZe as a business obviously don't want to get rid of him. Like, it'd be a pretty dumb business decision to get rid of one of the bigger streamers on Twitch, one of the bigger faces in gaming. It's like, I understand both sides of it. So, I mean, again, I don't know for sure, but I think Boo Boo was supposed to be on this FaZe team, which would have been really interesting. I mean, to be honest, it ended up working out for Boo Boo anyways, because now he's on G1, who are just playing unbelievable these last few months. So it's like it ends up. It's funny how things work out, but yeah, Boo Boo was definitely supposed to be on that team as far as I know.
So we're gonna move on to another segment because I want to add some light to it. We've been talking with a lot of dropping people and all this. I don't want to end on this. So why don't we switch the divides a little bit before we get there? We're gonna talk about SSG signing the #1 team in Latin America, team PK. But before we get there, if anybody at this point in time, if anybody has anything in the chat you want to put out there, say it now, forever hold your peace. We're going to be opening up a Q&A after this segment. We have KingJay as a guest here, so go. He said y'all can go crazy, so go ahead and do your thing. If you have any questions for me or Jay about any topics we discussed so far today or any topics in general, go ahead and put that out there. Meanwhile, we have Spacestation Gaming dropping their entire team and picking up again the #1 team in Latin America, Atso, Drift, Tapping Buttons, Pelu, and Coach Nugget coming in. How do we feel about this team?
The team's good, obviously. The #1 LATAM team. They win everything there is to win in LATAM. They just won their regional. They got top 12 at Kansas City, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So, like, obviously a really, really good pickup. And, like, that's a great roster. I don't like the way SSG did it. And, again, I'm not going to go too much into that because I know exactly how it went down. But they did not, like, they didn't do it the right way. The players got pretty screwed over, and now they're like scrambling to find something which could potentially be the last event if you don't go to Worlds, and then your year is over. So the way they did it, I don't really respect and whatever. But that being said, this obviously is a really good roster. Like it's a great roster to have under a partner team as well. So I mean, good luck to new SSG, I guess, right?
Yes, I didn't even know about that. I'll be honest with you, but I think at the end of the day, like I was huge on this SSG roster, and kind of the same way that I see G1 right now, and see what KCP was, like that ultimate dark horse team. That's why I thought Spacestation Game was going to be. I thought they were going to be a team that could legitimately upset some of the big three, not consistently, but I'm saying like any given Sunday type of stuff. You know, maybe they come out on top against a Cloud9 or something if they're playing at their best, and I feel like we never got the chance to see them hit their peak. We never got the chance to see them get to the place they want to go. So something had to be done, and it looked like, and to be honest, I think it was almost also kind of a situation with FaZe. I don't know. I don't think they really liked each other that much. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure. But
yeah, it seemed like anytime, and this is me just like watching scrims and whatever, it seemed like there was always some beef going on mid scrim. So who knows? I don't think they really got along all that well either, but who knows?
And I think something had to be done. And and I will say though, I talk about this a lot. The Latin American community honestly felt like we turned our backs on them for quite a bit of time. You know, from the moment we started HCS, only Mexico could compete. So you had a bunch of Colombian players that were like, in fact, Pelu, one of the players that's on this roster, is from Colombia. Yeah. So like you have Colombia, you have him, you have Johan, you have Guardian Flies, you have I want to say Magical actually might be Mexican. I apologize, but still there was a lot of Colombian passionate Halo players who suddenly couldn't compete. They have to then move to Mexico just to compete in these events, which is, I can only imagine if someone said that I have to move to Canada to do what I love.
Yeah.
Screw Canada. Like what? like are you kidding? I'm not going to Canada. Like it would be one of the scariest things. Like what do you? I already know this. So having to move to a whole nother country just to compete, it was crazy. And then on top of that, you know, you have Navi, a partner team. You have obviously a bunch of North American teams, but not enough Latin American representation as a partner organization. And you have these guys that are on fire for Halo. Like I bet you the moment they sign for Spacestation Gaming, I'm almost ready to guarantee that their sales probably 2.5x, maybe even almost 3x as far as their partner skins, because the whole Latin American community was looking for somebody to root for. And whether you're friends with them, whether you like them, whether you are competitors or rivals, you're still somewhat rooting for SSG now if you're in the Latin American scene. And I think that's important.
Dude, even like the LAM regional they just had in Mexico City, dude, it was packed. Like those guys showed out. So like like you said, the LAM scene is dope. So it's cool that they get a partnered org now. Like you said, that's big for the scene. And like you said, they're gonna have fans. They're gonna have more fans than a lot of people think, I'm sure. So
it's really good for the Latin American community as a whole here, and I'm really excited. I know I bought the SSG. I already had the SSG season 1 skins, but I bought the second one, so I have the Warthog and the AR skin with the sidekick. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm rooting for it, and I know you kind of put out there that it wasn't done the right way, and obviously things happen. I think the old SSG roster are going to be okay. I think, Tylenol, he's a phenomenal player. I think he had like a 1.76 KD at Kansas City. Absolutely incredible. You have Ace, who, by the way, not only a veteran, but, global world champion, by the way, at Halo 4. But also on top of that, like, he's been actually slaying out. Like those last couple of tournaments, he was putting in the work. And then obviously, you have the rest of the boys, Suppressed and Collect. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to find themselves new homes, and I think they're going to be okay. And I really am excited for this former Pittsburgh Knights roster now SSG, and we will say goodbye to PK because I believe they're exiting the Halo scene. I don't know if it's permanently, but they are exiting the scene.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. They have there's other LAN teams that are good, like CN. So I know CN has like 3 or 4 different rosters. So like the Knights could stay in the scene if they want, whether they want to or not. I mean, that's on them, but we'll see.
We did have one question in the chat that I did see. Obviously, there's more questions coming actually. I see some. I don't know if you want to answer that one actually. So I'm gonna skip that one. I'm gonna skip over one of them. Why don't we grab this one right here? Would Jay be happy if the DMR was a copy of the H5 pistol?
I'm indifferent on it. I don't like. I played a little bit of H5. I didn't play a lot of it. I know a lot of people are a big fan of the pistol. I don't know. I'm in the boat of I want the DMR to be its own gun and be usable. I don't want like a carbon copy from another game of something else, if that makes sense.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I missed the H5 Magnum, but I'm kind of indifferent about it. If they bring the H5 Magnum back, great. If this is its own weapon, it's a whole new game. So we don't even know how I don't even know how the Magnum would play in this game. So if it's its own weapon and as long as it fits within the sandbox, that's what I'm more. But I don't want it to be overpowered or underpowered because that's where some items feel like right now, especially with the GA of the drop weapon. Which, by the way, where are you on with the whole drop weapon GA? Where are you on about it? Are you for or against it?
So I for one, from like day one, have never used it.
Okay.
Like I just never have. Like I don't have an extra button. It was always on my D-pad, so I would have to like stand still to draw my weapon for a second. So I just never used it. I agree, it's broken, and I do agree with the GA. But I also see the other side of things where teams like us and whoever else that have to play through open. You're going to be playing people that do it. And if you can't get a GA to be global, like the Mangler was pretty universal, right? Mm-hmm. The community is pretty split on the drop weapon. If you can't get everyone to be on board with it, then I don't think you can GA it because it's just going to cause problems everywhere you look. And it already has. The past week or two on Twitter have just been insane over it. And it's like, it was never like this with the Mangler because everybody agreed that the Mangler needed to go. But not everyone agrees to the drop weapon. I think it does need to go. I don't like it. I think it's cheap. But I'm not going to be mad at someone for using it because not everyone agrees. So like I don't think you can GA something if 50% of the community wants it and 50% don't. It's going to cause drama and problems, and it already has. So,
I mean, I will say right at the bat, like one of your teammates is one of the best drop weapon players that I've seen actually in Aperture. The man is quick with it. He is quick. I'm telling you, man. You get into a duel with him, you get put down quick.
I mean, and his side of things, which I completely agree with. It's like So we're going to be playing through open, and he's going to be using it through open because as of right now, like there's open teams that GA it, but all the pool play teams GA it, right? But not all the open teams. We're playing through open. So Aperture is going to have to play on his button layout through open to drop weapons. And then as soon as we get into pools, he's going to have to completely change his button layout and unbind drop weapon and change his buttons around mid-tournament just because we got into pools where nobody uses it. Like it's not like viable. Like that's the problem. It's not universal. So it's really hard to do. That's the problem I see with it.
GAs, I think we all agree that GAs are not good for the game right now. Some are necessary based on not having change that are needed. But at the end of the day, you don't want to see GAs in the game. It's confusing. It's not everybody's on board, like you said, and it gets a little bit difficult. Next question I have on here. This is actually for you. Should Infinite add another movement tech to the game, such as spring jump?
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think adding it's a fine line between like adding movement that benefits and adds to the skill gap versus adding movement that's like cheap and like super easy and anyone can do, and it just kind of like ruins the flow of the game. And I don't know if I trust 343 in actually putting out a movement tech that would benefit the game. But if they could, then yeah, like anything that adds to the skill gap is good for me. Like having more, if that's having more movement or whatever it is, I think that's great. I just think there's a really fine line of developing and coding a movement that isn't like, that doesn't ruin the flow of the game, but also adds to the skill gap. Like I think it's pretty hard to do. But if they could pull it off, yeah, I'm all for it.
I'll be honest with you. I never learned how to spring jump in Halo 5, so I don't want to see it. I'm just being selfish here. I didn't know how to spring jump. Okay, Shyway, I'm sorry. I know he's out here. He's having a freaking. If I kick this chair halfway across the room, just hear me say that. We have another question here. This is actually for both of us. Who is your player to watch out for in Orlando, and what team do you see making a bracket run? I guess I'm gonna go maybe like a dark horse team kind of thing. I'll pass it over to you first.
Team you should look out for to make an open run in the bracket would be Native Gaming, and the player you should look out for would probably be which Native Red or Native Black. I'm sorry, and a player you should look out for would probably be KingJay. I'm gonna be honest, like all these people in open are my competitors. These are the people I'm trying to beat out to go to Worlds, so I'm not going to gas any of those guys up. As much as people deserve it, trust me, there are people that deserve it, but I ain't going to gas them up. I'll gas them up after the fact, but not now. So yeah, the player you should look out for in my eyes is KingJay, and the team you should look out for is Native Black.
Fair enough. I'll say in the open bracket, give me KingJay. All right.
He's all right. Sometimes he's all right. Sometimes.
Yeah, give me Mental. I think Mental's exciting to watch, and I feel like I don't know if he's gonna make it out into pool play. But as far as him, I think he comes with like a little championship swagger to him and whatnot. Obviously, he was damn good at Gears. I think he's a damn good Slayer. So I'll say watch out for him to have a really good tournament. And then as far as a team to watch out for, and I'll say, I'm thinking of a good dark horse team. Give me Quadrant. Watch out for Quadrant. Quadrant able to take Kansas City. I'm sorry, able to take Sentinels to Game 5 in Kansas City, and they're always like so good. And even on land, they're able to replicate that. So I would say watch out for Quadrant. Maybe getting into that top 8 or which again, and hopefully top 6, because the best placing so far from any international team is top 6. So I would say give me Quadrant.
I just thought of a dark horse team actually.
Okay, all right.
Team Demise. No one's gonna know that name when I say it, but keep an eye out for Team Demise. My homies from my Discord. Xeno, Kohler, Boosted, and Edge. Those are okay. Be on the lookout because they could win the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they could win the entire. I'm just kidding.
Optic, watch out! We have a new favorite going in. I think I heard of Xeno. Didn't he made like some video actually not too long ago. I think if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Those are the homies from the Discord. So
Love that. Hey, you gotta represent, man.
Exactly.
Community does for you. You give back. So watch out for Team Demise. That's actually a pretty dope name.
There you go.
How much do you think the competitive scene should influence the overall state and balance of the game? I actually think that's a really good question. That's a loaded one right there. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm a little biased because I am a competitive player, but I also understand there's another side to gaming besides competitive. It's obviously like the casual scene is probably bigger. In Halo, competitive might be bigger than the casual scene, but in most games, casual scene dominates the competitive scene, right? And you see all these like pro players complaining about stuff, and then you see all the casual players in the comments like, "Oh, all pro players do is cry, cry, cry." Like, you gotta understand, first of all, these pro players play this game for a living. They know more than the casual player. And two, when we want these changes, it's not in the game overall. It's strictly in competitive. Like, when you see a pro tweet something about the Mangler, or you see a pro tweet something about dropping the weapon, it's strictly competitive. They're not talking about changing the entire game. I don't think people understand that. I tweeted one time about like how broken the Mangler was, and I got flooded for days from casual players like, "Oh, you're just not good, like adapt, blah blah." And I'm like, dude, like, you guys can have it. Like, have it. In ranked and competitive 4v4, we don't want it. That's it. I'm not talking about the whole game. So like I don't think like competitive opinion should completely sway the overall balance of the game. But obviously competitive players know best when it comes to their own like, arena, like ranked arena. So like I think obviously competitive players should be able to sway the opinion for that itself. But like overall in the game, yeah, I get it. Like I understand the casual side of things.
I know there's an argument to be made for having the competitive game be as close to the social experience as possible. I know there's a good argument for it, but from a viewer's point of view. But as a caster, I think that if we can clearly explain the differences between social and competitive, when we go into the tournaments, maybe we need two separate settings for competitive and social. And people may not agree on that, but you go back to Halo 3, you had the MLG playlist where you moved faster, your shots did more damage. It was a different game. Dude, don't get me started. Halo Reach, legitimately, you had a game with Bloom and without. You had a game with sprints and without. Like, two totally different games. And you go into Halo 5, you had one with full radar, one with just a half radar, and one, with the shoulder Spartan charges and ground pounds, and one like maybe there's a damn good reason why you should have separate settings for competitive and social, because then you see what happens when there's changes made and it goes across the board. Like,
exactly.
I promise you, in no way that as a competitive player, social player, anything, did I ever ask for a 3-shot melee. Like, I swear, first of all, I always 3-shot melee. The 2-shot melee doesn't even exist. I don't know what ping you guys are playing on, but I never 2-shot melee in my life. But never did I want a difference between competitive 2-shot melee and 3-shot. Maybe we need a situation where we do separate, because we don't want a situation where the top 1% is kind of changing the whole game for the other 99%. At the end of the day, competitive is a small scene. So maybe people may disagree with me on that. If you guys watch it on YouTube, put on the comments down below what you guys think. But we've always had a separation between casual and competitive, and maybe we need to go back to that so that we're not ruining the experience for anybody else who has a different form of Halo.
A couple weeks ago when we were going over these new GAs, you see like Spartans tweeting out like the sword is GA'd, and then you have like a bunch of casual players like, "Oh, I'm not listening to that." And it's like, dude, I promise you with my entire heart, Spartan does not care if you use a sword in big team battle. He does not care. You know what I'm saying? He's talking strictly competitive 4v4, tournaments and scrim. That's what he's talking about. And I don't think people see the divide in that. Like, people see pros complaining about this and think they want to change for the entire game. That's not true at all. Like, no one cares. Like, the pro players don't care what big team battle looks like. They just care about what they get paid in their career and their job which is strictly the 4v4 competitive side of things. That's it.
Hundreds of $1,000s, sometimes millions on the line, and the only thing that they're asking for is to play on the most fair and balanced settings. And no matter what, us as a fan, now I'm going to talk to it as a fan point of view, we're going to get a great product regardless. I've actually seen Catalyst open up a little bit without the sword in play, and I mean, I still don't like the map in general, but it plays better. It legitimately plays better when you don't see everybody checking every damn corner for that damn sword player that's gonna come in out of nowhere. It legitimately does open up the map and makes it more free flowing and faster. So you know, am I in love with GAs? No. But at the same time, whatever makes the best product for you guys will then trickle down into us as viewers and as fans, and that's something that I am down for. This was your YNOT and Shyway show, and Jay, I'm not gonna lie, you ain't no Shyway. You ain't bad.
I can't touch Shyway.
You ain't bad. I ain't gonna lie. We gonna make sure we do this again. If you could do me a favor or do yourself a favor, tell the audience where they can find you. Where's your socials at?
The really only socials I use are Twitter and Twitch. My Twitch is just straight up KingJay, and my Twitter is KingJay, and then my initials JS, no spaces. If you want to find me on those, I do stream every single morning for the most part. That's pretty much it, I think. Appreciate you guys having me, obviously.
It was an absolute pleasure. We've done this before, and we definitely gonna do it again. Make sure you guys come back next week, where we're gonna have Alex coming back from vacation, and we're gonna have the normal YNOT and Shyway show. Maybe KingJay replaces me. I don't even know. I actually enjoyed having him. You guys have a good one. Peace out.